Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a little video series on how I'm building these rabbit carriers. They're a 3-hole rabbit carrier, and I want to do a little introduction. The video got way too long, so I'm going to break it up into 3 parts. I don't know about you, but sometimes a half hour or more video is just way too long for me to sit and watch. Just wanted to show you my little brake here, because I use this a lot in this video. It's just a cheap little brake. I don't know where I got this one, but I've seen them at Harbor Freight. They're the same thing. And it really came in handy on bending the wire and the galvanized bottom so that I could get the corners bent up and everything. If you're going to build these things, or cages, even rabbit cages, you might want to get one of these, because I think I'm going to be using it a lot here in the next few days. So the first segment, I'm going to show you on how to build the bottom. Get my notes. Yeah, I'm going to show you how I made the bottom and how to make the surround around the base of the, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to get one. This is the old one that I've had for 30 years. I'm going to show you how I made the base and this part here in the first video. So let's go and take a look at that video and get on with it. Hello YouTubers, what a weekend. Been working on building some of these carriers like this. This is one I had from 30 years ago when I raised rabbits, and I wanted to make some more of them. I want some, and I want to make some for some friends of mine who need them. Did videos on a lot of it, and it just seemed like I was always having problems with this camera. I don't know, I just can't get used to this GoPro camera. Right now, it won't link up to my phone for some unknown reason, but I'm going to show you what I've done so far. I'll put some video in on some of the work that I've been doing and some other stuff that I've already done, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Let me get this out of the way. I burnt these bases out of some steel at work. I bought a sheet of, this is galvanized, I think it's 20 gauge. And I bent the corners up on my sheet metal brake, but I had to make a smaller plate to go in here because my long one, of course, wouldn't fit. I could bend these up, but then to bend this up, I had to have a shorter one because that's only, I think, 17 inches wide. So let's go to the clip where I had cut it off and I was grinding the edge because you want a little bevel on it because you have to bend up a little past 90 because it's going to bend back. Let's go to that clip where I was grinding that piece out there on my welding table. Well, that was a simple job. I had a piece of flat stock over there. I just cut it to the length it fit in here and ground it, and it worked. After I got them all bent up, I caulked in here with silicone caulk to seal it so that any rabbit urine shouldn't leak out. I might want to caulk a little more now that this part's set up. But I also drilled it and I put springs on it and I made little hooks so that I could hook it onto the cage to hold it in here. Now, let me show you, I cut the wire, I believe it's 9 inches tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 inches tall. Then I put the bottom wire, which is inch by ½ inch, up 1 inch from the bottom. So it sits here and the rabbits will be 1 inch off this plate. That way if they pee and poop in here, they won't be standing in it. It'll go down in the bottom. Let me show you how I cut it and bent that. Right here is the last one I have to put together. I have to cut one more bottom, but you see how I've already got them bent at the right places to make the cage. But I didn't want to fasten this yet until I put the bottom in, and I'll work my way around and then close off the end when I get there. Otherwise, if I close it off right now, you can see I'm going to play hell getting that wire in there. Right here is where I'm at with these cages. I've got 7 of them done up just like this. I burnt these out at work. They sit down in there, and I've got holes. I just burnt little holes in them. That's where I used my pig rings to fasten them in at the front, back, and on the bottom. So they're fastened in there pretty good. So I've got 7 of them done like this. This is plastic that comes on the saw blades at work, and I cut it and fit it on the wire and on top of here, so when you're placing your rabbit in here, there's no sharp edges from the wire at the top of the steel to jab them. The back doesn't have it on it because that's where I have to fasten the top, and I have to use the J-clips to make the hinges for the top. Let me go back and show you a clip from when I was bending these sides, and I'll give you a tip on how to cut the wire so you don't leave little sharp edges to gouge your hands and the rabbit. I'll show you that clip. Almost forgot. I wanted to show you how I was bending this wire. This is the last one. Out of a roll of wire, I was able to get 4 of the surrounding part of the carrier. And this is the last one. It's 16 by 24 by 16 by 24. And I always count it off, clamp it down, and recount it to make sure I'm not going to screw up. Bend it, and then take the C-clamp loose. So I will have enough of this wire to do 4 cages. I need to get another roll to finish the other 4, and I'll have to get another roll for the tops. And I'll have to figure out what I got to do for the tops. But I cut each one just a couple long, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got to cut 2 inches off of this. Let me show you my cutters. Bring this over here so I can see if it focuses. This is a regular pair of wire cutters. You see the angled part in here? You cannot cut flush, cut these wires flush, and it will leave about 1/16 to an 1/8 inch little stub sticking off the wire that are great for scratching the crap out of you. I took a pair of them, and I just took them on a grinder wheel. I just rolled them like this on the grinding wheel, a little bit at a time, some cold water close by. You don't want to heat them up too much. But I got them so that cutting edge is right flush with this edge. So they're flush cut. When I cut these, this welded wire, it doesn't leave that little stub sticking out that's going to tear your hands up. And I've already cut my hand all up cutting these things. Let me cut that 2 inches off. Then we'll start working on the bottom. I'm going to put the bottom in, and here's the wire for the bottom. I want to put the wire on, cut it and put it in before I close it up so it doesn't fight me the whole time. Let me cut this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is it. Now you just, and I always kind of angle it. Here's the crossbar going across here. If you cut it square like that, darn phone, I like to be able to see what I'm showing you. If you cut it square with the end, it will leave a squared off end and it'll still cut you. So I always get in there and angle it when I cut it. And then it doesn't leave a sharp edge on there. It'll gouge you. That's my little trick for cutting this stuff. You could probably go to Harbor Freight or somewhere and get a cheap set of these wire cutters and take them on your grinder and just slowly, easily grind them until they're a flush cut.